the best way to do it is take dry ingredients first, and then the wet ingredients, and then the wet's going to meet the dry, if that makes sense.
Okay, so I'll do wet, you do dry.
Perfect. So 3 eggs, milk, butter.
This is great. You put walnuts in yours, don't you?
I do. Walnuts, because I like the crunch of the walnut.
Right.
And I think it just makes it a bit sort of zhuzhia, you know?
Okay.
Chocolate walnut. You could use hazelnuts if you wanted to.
Could you put cherries in?
I've never tried cherries.
I love chocolate and cherries.
Good idea.
So I've got my eggs, my milk. I'm going to put some melted butter and then a teaspoon of vanilla extract.
Yes, so you get a bit of flavour. I've got in my bowl flour, golden caster sugar, and 2 tablespoons. That's a big heaped dessert spoon is a tablespoon of cocoa. Good, rich cocoa. Not drinking chocolate, but cocoa. And then your walnuts go in. A teaspoon of baking powder, so the whole thing definitely rises. And then, yes, so what are you're whisking those
There we go, so I'm
together?
just whisking them together. It's not, I don't have to sort of beat them, do I really? Just get them mingled together.
Yeah, mingled together, a little bit of mingling.
It is a really easy pudding. The only thing you have to remember to do is either if you were serving it in the night, to do it first thing in the morning, or if you were serving it the next day, make it the night before.
I always think with a pudding like this, just make it the day before, because it does have to go in the fridge for a certain amount of time, otherwise the self-saucing doesn't work, because there's a trick to it.
Right.
Wet into dry, and then I'll go from there, and I'll mix that together.
Do you want my whisk?
No,
are you all
a
right with
spoon,
you?
yeah, and I'll use a spoon, thanks. If you can just chuck all those bits away, that would be really good.
Well, you can clear them up. You can wash them.
Well, I'm happy. If you want, I'll clean up if you want to mix the pud.
No.
You sure?
Yeah, you can do that.
I love that smell.
Oh, so do I. Anything chocolate is my favourite thing.
And it mixes together very, very quickly, and you want it to be done quite quickly because otherwise the butter starts to set.
Okay.
Grease a pie tin. I love these. They make great noise, but they don't break. And then in goes the chocolate pudding mixture into the tray. And that pudding mixture, you always have to leave a little bit in the bowl for those who love to lick a bowl.
Yeah. I was going to say, do you want a scraper? But you're just going to leave it for me.
Look at that. There you go. That's for you. That now goes into okay. That now goes into the fridge overnight. And it goes in overnight because then the actual cake or the pudding mixture sets. And this is the secret to the self-saucing bit. So imagine that's now gone into a fridge, because I've got one in that
so
fridge.
So I put that one, I'm going to swap them over.
Yeah, well, you can do that if you want to.
Oh.
There we are.
There you go, there's that one. Give me that one.
Okay.
Then we've got double pud.
We've got double pud. Now with our pud, this mixture, it's a little bit firmer. And I'm going to need 250 mils of boiling water.
Right, okay.
From that kettle, is that all right? And then in a separate bowl, you mix 180 grams of soft brown sugar. Might seem a lot, but it is a decadent pudding after all. And another couple of tablespoons of cocoa.
So you mix all that together?
You do. Mix the sugar and the cocoa together.
Yeah.
Does that. You get that out of the way. And this, amazingly enough, this bowl here of sugar and cocoa is going to make the sauce. And some miraculous way, as it bakes, the mixture all goes through to the bottom. So this gets sprinkled across the top.
Yep.
Miraculously, all that cocoa and sugar will become the sauce underneath. I mean, it looks good.
Already?
Boiling hot water across the top. There is some miraculous thing that happens here where that now becomes the sauce, but the sauce
goes to the bottom.
It does go to the bottom. It sinks all the way through when it goes to the bottom. And that now goes into the oven.
For how long?
45 minutes at 185.
Okay.
I think the general rule for pudding is 185.
185, 180.
180, 180. That goes in and it cooks away and it becomes an absolute miracle.
I can't wait.
And when it comes out, it looks ever so slightly different in like that. And the thing about the self-saucing stuff is I'm not going to promise you that it's got lashings of sauce, but what it has got, I think, is enough sauce to make it pretty smart.
Okay.
Which corner do you want? Or do you want the middle?
You have a little bit on there, and I'll just take the rest of the bowl.
Crispy on the top, around the outside.
Around the outside.
And then on this, and then just enough, oh my goodness, all this. And then you just turn it over and look. So all that sauce and the pudding.
Oh my gosh.
And there, and there's more sauce in the bottom. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but I've got to say, you know, I don't want to be pretty, I just want to be tasty.
So gooey and chocolatey and that is amazing.